So let's talk about registering with suppliers. That seems to have a lot of questions from new agents. We sent you the link to the Google Classroom. At the top, click on classwork, and then step 3 is vendor registration. Before you start registering, make sure you stop at step 2, info for vendors. That is a very important piece of paper. It has all of the information about Archer, all of their contact info, and you are going to need this info when you go to register. So print it off if you can, take a picture of it, save it to your desktop. You want to just make sure that you have access to that. So you can always refer back to it to get the correct information for registering. So that is step 2. Step 3, we actually have you start registering with suppliers. All you have to do is click on each link. It will take you to instructions and follow the instructions. Different suppliers have different ways to register, so please make sure you click on each link for each supplier so that you know you are doing it correctly. They usually have little screenshots to show you how to move around, arrows, and other information for what you should do. Also at the bottom, it gives you information on what to do or what to expect about how long you should expect to take before you get approved. Most of the emails that come from suppliers for the confirmations go into your junk or spam or promotions folders. So make sure you are checking those. And here is the expectation for VAX. It's anywhere between 4 and 7 business days. So after 7 business days, you want to reach out to Archer if you do not get approved. This one here is registering for VAX. The next one after VAX is Carnival. Be very careful with Carnival. A lot of people make mistakes here. It asks for your first name, and out of habit, most people will just start to type in their first name. However, you need to put your ID number, your Archer ID number, and not your first name for Carnival. If you do not get approved for Carnival, most likely that is the reason why. Also, with the cruise lines, if you have not gotten approved for your registration, you can still call in and do the booking over the phone just by giving Archer's IATA number. So if you have someone who wants to book a cruise and you haven't been approved yet, you can still do that. So here it's saying 24 to 48 hours is about how long it takes to get approved for Carnival. What else do we have? We've got Disney. So again, you're just going to follow through the screenshots and do what it says. I do want to point out one little thing here. A lot of people get to this page and stop, but make sure you take a look at this. It gives you one little piece of information that will pop up at the end of your registration that a lot of people don't see. So make sure you take a look at this last page for this little bit of information. Beds Online. Beds Online is a little bit tricky. You have to really pay attention and make sure that you are filling in exactly what it is asking you to fill in. I know it's a little fuzzy. Sometimes for me, now if I enlarge my screen, it's just going to make it fuzzier. But so this says work in a travel agency. That is the answer for this question. And over here, the answer is agent, agency affiliated with a host network. If you fill these in incorrectly and you get to something that asks for a W-9, then you know you need to go back and start over. It means that you put something in incorrectly. You should not be asked for a W-9. Here it's asking for agency trade name. You can put in your personal business name. I know you guys have just started. We are going to have you create a name for your business and brand your business. Probably right now you don't have one. You can put Archer Travel in there for now. If you've always known what you want your business name to be, and that's the name you're going to use, you can put it in here. It really doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong answer. Just make sure you fill it in. You can put in Archer, or you can put in a business name that you have already decided on for your business. And that is Beds Online. Viator. One of the little tricks with Viator is right here where it says, please type in the host agency code. Most people automatically just think, oh, host agency code is Archer's IATA. In this case, they are asking for this specific number. So make sure you put in that information here where it asks for it. And then cruising power is the last one that they are having you register with. Cruising power, I think, was pretty straightforward, if I remember correctly. So just go ahead and, oh, here's one thing, username, 00, and then your Evolution ID number. I've also had people get stuck because they'll put 00, the plus sign, and their Evolution ID number. It won't take it. You have to do 00, your Evolution ID number, no spaces, no plus sign, just like that. That will get you through all of those supplier registrations. Definitely keep track of when you send out the supplier request and when you get a confirmation that you have been accepted. Sometimes you'll send out the request and it doesn't come back and you're busy doing other things and you don't even realize that something was incorrect and you did not get confirmed for a registration. After you've done all that, you want to make sure that you get in touch with your mentor. We have some other information we're going to give you at this point, and it is called the basics. And it's just like what it sounds. It goes over basic information that most new travel agents seem to ask. And we will just go over all of that information. It's really not anything for you to do. It's just stuff for you to read through and learn. So make sure you reach out to your mentor and text them. Don't message them in the chat box because we don't always look at the chat box throughout the day. But pretty much all of us have our phones set up to give us a notification when we get a text message. So that's really the quickest, fastest way to get in touch with your mentor is to text them. And you can text them, let them know that you are ready for the basics, and they will send that over to you. Also, you want to check in with, you want to go to the travel cafe. So you're going to log into your back office. And after you have gotten through those registrations, and also some of the other things in the Google Classroom, you also want to know here where the travel cafe is. So I'm going to click on that. And this has all of the instructions to register for several other suppliers as well. So you just come over here to the left where it says suppliers, click on USA suppliers, and you can just start going through these and maybe pick 2 or 3 a day to register for. It can get pretty boring doing registrations. So trying to get them all done in one day, probably you'll drive yourself nuts. I would suggest just doing a few a day. Also, it does tell you in here some other information if you have trouble registering. So when you come all the way down to the bottom, it tells you how to register. And then over here, if you have trouble, it tells you who to call. So this is for emergencies while traveling. This is just general information that you can call this phone number. So if you ended up registering with American Airlines Vacations, but you never got approved, you would come into the travel cafe and go over here and take a look at this info to see who you need to reach out to. So since that wouldn't be an emergency while traveling, I would just contact their general 800 number and have them help you and see why the registration did not go through. That's really all I wanted to cover with supplier registrations. So work on that. If you have questions, ask your mentor, and hopefully this provided some answers to the commonly asked questions for registering.